Okay, so let's start the Negan lesson. In general, I'd say, well, not I'd say, I mean, it is true. Anyway, Negan is a good character when it comes to pressure. And this time, yeah, I would say he's also pretty okay on mid-range due to his good range of his launchers. But anyway, oh yeah, I'll talk about everything. But let's start off with some basic jab strings, cause yeah, these are the fastest ones. Probably the ones he'll use, I don't know, in the neutral or something. Let's start with 1, 2, 4. It's safe, and these are 3 highs, so it is duckable. But the good thing about this string is that it's a natural combo. All 3 hits connect if, yeah, the first one hits. So that is gonna be his 10 frame punish every time, because for obvious reasons. His other options are he can also go with 1, 2, 2. It's safe, so yeah, frame trap, whatever. But it's completely interruptible, so if you manage to react, you can just jab him. Or if you really have good reaction time, you can also sidestep it. Only to the left, it's only sidesteppable to the left. And yeah, if you manage to sidestep it, you can just launch punish him. What else do we have? We have 1, 1, 2, also a safe string, but not a natural combo, but safe, so it's okay. And some people think the last hit will be a low for whatever reason, so yeah, some people try to duck after the 2 hits. Then we have 1, 2, 4. No, I mean 1, 4, 2. My bad. Maybe you can mistake it for 1, 2, 4. So maybe you can mistake 1, 4, 2 for 1, 2, 4. This is what I mean, because yeah, it's pretty much the same. Like, it's not the same, but it's like similar. Because yeah, it's also, you get what I mean. But yeah, these are different strings. You cannot duck that. If you see that the second hit is a kick, you cannot duck. And also safe, but honestly, I don't think you are going to see a lot of Negan players that are going to use this one. But now let's talk about Negan's stance, his Intimidation Stance, which is a important factor when it comes to pressure. Let's talk about it then. His mids are, yeah, that was actually an accident, but when I already did it, I can talk about it. He's free, just free. It's 17 frames, it's safe on block, so yeah, it's pretty fine. You can, yeah, just provoke the opponent, so the opponent blocks high, because he also has a low that is, a low that is punishable on minus 13 on block, so yeah, you can definitely punish it with something. But actually, let's talk about the mids first. That's what my actual plan was before I started talking about the free. So anyway, I talked about free, 17 frames, safe on block. We also have 4, 20 frames, but also safe on block. So yeah, and it's not only safe on block, it can also launch and counter hit. So yeah. But still, I don't know how many Negan players would use this move, but if they do, try not to get counter hit by that. What else do we have? We have his 20 frame 2, like 2 in stance, of course. Also a safe move, 20 frames, pretty good one, and if he manages to hit you with it, he has a guaranteed down 3+4. I bet you know this move, I bet you don't see it the first time. And yeah, this is pretty much guaranteed once he hits you with his 2 inside the stance. And no, that's not the last mid, but the next mid is his stance 1-2, which is his fastest mid inside his stance. But as you can see, it's -13 on block, so yeah, punishable with jabs, or maybe, I don't know, an electric if you play Jin or something. So yeah, but it's the fastest one he got. And then he also got his it was down 4-2, -20 on block, so probably Heihachi's 4-4-2 or something could punish it. But online, like, I've never got punished for it before, so I'm using it sometimes, and due to this knockback and all, I just never get punished. But maybe you can punish it with your characters, I don't know, you have to try it out. And if it hits, it can do some good damage. Okay, I messed it up, it was like this. Hold up. So yeah, 95 damage with wall. Without a wall it's like 81, I think. And yeah, these are his mids. His 2, which is safe on block. His kicks, which are both safe on block. 17 and 20 frames. Like I said, this kick here, his 4 instance is a launch counter hit launcher. And then we got his launcher I just talked about, and his fastest mid instance, which is punishable with 13 on block, -13 I mean. And yeah, then we have his low, which is -12 I think on block, -13 on block, so yeah, you can punish that as well. But I think it's pretty good, pretty good low. And then he also has a power crush inside his stance. It's a safe high, so yeah, it is duckable, but it's also a launcher, so try not to get hit by that, cause yeah, for obvious reasons. Okay, next thing we got with his stance is his unblockable move. You won't see it very often, but just know it's there, just for emergencies, yeah. And the last thing he got with on his stance is his throw. I tried everything. I don't really think this throw is like actually breakable. I've been trying. So yeah, for some reason this throw isn't breakable, but it's like really slow, so yeah, you won't see this very often either. And since it's a throw, it's also duckable. So yeah, And the reason why Negan's stance is so important for him is because he has strings from which he can transition into his stance, just like Jin, but yeah, just like Jin actually. So yeah, he has his 1-2 and he's inside his stance. 1-2 stance, whatever. And then there's this big 50-50 of his. You just have to guess what he does. If you guess right, you can punish him, like if it's a low or something. Or he goes with a mid, then you can't punish him, of course. So yeah, his 1-2, instead of doing these strings, you can cancel into his stance or transition into his stance. That's also pretty much what every good Negan will do, I'd say, because, well, this is still usable for punishes, for 10 frame punishes, but this isn't like really super useful since it's yeah, interruptible. So yeah, most likely you'll see Negan players cancel this one into his stance, and this whole, this whole transfer into stance thing is why Negan's so good at pressuring people. He does this, he does that, he can do this, and you know what I mean. Then the next string he can, from which he can transfer into his stance, is his a down forward 1-2. It's -11 on blocks, so yeah, it can be punished with jabs. But it's a, well, actually it's not a big surprise that 2 hits are a natural combo. But yeah, whatever, it's a natural combo, and he can also transition into his stance with all of the options I've mentioned before. Next string he has is his down forward 4-2, which is safe on block, but it's duckable, of course. Well, it is duckable, but I think it is not the easiest thing to react to when it comes to ducking and stuff. But if you manage to react to this, he also has an option to do this, like on his knee. It's his down forward 4-3. It's also safe, and if you try to duck his high option, well, then he can also go with a mid. But anyway, usually after going with down forward 4-2, I at least go with, yeah, with 1-2, because it's the fastest thing you can do, and if the opponent presses anything, he'll get hit by it. So if you're playing against a Negan and he does this move, well, then don't you dare pressing anything, or else you'll get hit. Unless he will expect you not to press anything, because then he'll go with another, like, let's say this mid here, or his low. So if he thinks you will not attack, he'll go with something else, something which is interruptible with jabs and stuff. But yeah, usually he'll go for this here. He might also go for his power crush to launch you if you press something. He can also do his kicks. Well, he has a lot of options. Like I said, I think I said it. If I didn't, no, I did. So yeah, it's good not to be pressing buttons on against this string here. But of course you can once the match go on, like I already said, when he won't expect you to press buttons. And then we got his down forward 3-1-2. I don't think Negan players would use that one in the neutral. It's minus 11 on block, so yeah, it is punishable by a jab. But the reason why this one's important is, like, hold up. If we're at a wall, like, or let's say you get hit by a combo, then a Negan player has two options. When he wants like optimal damage, he can go for this here. It's with a stab and stuff. But instead of that, he can like do a bit less damage with his combo, like this. But then he can mix you up a bit, because like I said, he can transfer from down 3-1-2 into his stance. So yeah, you're on a wall, he does this to end the combo, and he's inside his stance. So yeah, you know what I mean. Something like that, or I don't know. Maybe even his unblockable if you stand up. Cause yeah, you know what I mean. So a good Negan player will probably end his combos on the wall with down forward 3-1-2. So he has one more mix-up with his stance. Now let's go back to the center of the stage. What else do we have? Launchers. So now I've mentioned all the things worth mentioning when it comes to transitioning into a stance. Unless he can also... Well, I'll mention that soon. But let's talk about his launchers, which are the reason why he's, in my opinion, still pretty okay on mid-range. Because, yeah, look at this range. I think it's pretty good for a launcher. I mean, well, unless maybe a hop kick would do that as well. But at least Claudia's hop kick. But yeah, it's pretty okay range, so he can whiff punish with that one. And it's minus 14 on block, so yeah, it is punishable. Minus 14. What else do we have? His forward 1+2 power crush and all. You definitely know what it is. You have to watch out for it. If you don't, you will die. But of course it is highly punishable. Minus 15, so minus 15 on block, so it is launch punishable actually. Then he also has his back 1+2, which is a launcher on counter hit, and it's safe as well. So if he hits you with that one, you'll get even more oh wait, I forgot. If he hits you with that one, you'll get even more damage. I messed up. And I messed up again. But yeah, his... Oh, whatever, man. I don't know why I keep messing up right now, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is it is very damaging if he manages to hit you with that. At least if he manages to counter hit you with that. And since it's safe, he can just do it. Maybe not over and over again, but you know what I mean. When it comes to mid-range, he might use that a lot. as well as his other launchers. Then we got another... No, actually, first we got his wild standing launcher. Minus 16 on block, so yeah, highly punishable, launch punishable. But yeah, I thought I'd just mention it since, yeah, why not? And he can also transition into his stance from it. It's not like it will make a lot of sense, because if he hits you, he can combo in the stance, but it just makes more sense to do a combo like that, so he probably won't ever transition into a stance from it. He can also do it with his down forward 2, but it's the same thing. He can combo off of it, but like if he transitions into his stance, but it just doesn't really make sense since the optimal combo just isn't inside the stance. Yeah, whatever, I messed up again. And then we also got his up forward 4. You always see it in combos, but the thing with this one is, yeah, it is a counter hit launcher, and it's also safe on blocks, so yeah, that's why it's worth using at times.
Oh my God.
So yeah, something like that. Negan combos pretty much always look the same, so okay. What else do we have? That's it when it comes to launchers. Now mid-range, that was with mid-range, I mean, well, other things he can use on mid-range is his 4-4-2. It is minus 9 on block, I think, so yeah, it is safe, barely, but it is. And it hits grounded opponents, so he can use that if you delay your wake up. Like, I don't know, let's say you delay wake up after a combo, like, well, whatever, it can hit grounded opponents, you know, you get what I mean. And then he also got his 4-4-4, which is safe on block, and it's a wall bounce. It's a wall bounce. So yeah, thought I'd mention it. I'm mainly mentioning it because it's safe. The whole wall bounce thing isn't like really super OP, but yeah, it's safe, and if he hits you with it in near a wall, then he'll bounce you. What else do we have? His lows, like other lows I haven't mentioned yet, are like this one here. It's his down back 2. You definitely know this one. Transitions into his stance, so yeah, even more 50-50s. But it's like 12 on block, I think, or 13, 14 even. So yeah, it is definitely punishable, but for whatever reason it's not. You can parry this stuff. What else does he have? He has his down forward 4, just a generic low poke with pretty okay range, and it's he just blocked it. It's minus 13 on block, so it's also like, I bet there's something you can punish this with. And he can also do his back 4. It's not a, of course it's not a low, but I'm just mentioning it because he can use these two moves to try and catch you off guard. Like, let's say you think he's gonna go with his down back 4, but he'll go with his back 4, and his back 4 is also a counter hit launcher. So yeah, I thought I'd mention this as well, even though it's not low. And then he has his forward 2+3. It has less range than the down back 4, but it's evasive. So yeah, he can just a little sidestep and all. So you may be seeing this sometimes as well, I don't know. But yeah, I thought I'd mention this one. What else can I say? His tracking moves, okay. So he has 2 tracking moves. It's back 2-2, -11 on block, so it's punishable with a jab string. And if he hits a counter hit with that, you can't block the second hit for whatever reason. And yeah, if he hits the second hit, then he gets this, whatever, I don't think I can call this a throw, but, or maybe I can. Well, let's say this throw here for pretty good damage. So yeah, he can do that. And he can also do back 2-3, which is safe on block. And yeah, there's nothing more to it, just safe on block. I can, yeah, there's nothing more to it, like I said. Then we got Negan's throw game. He only got a 1+2 break throw. Other than that, he has his stance throw I mentioned before that you can't break for whatever reason. And then he only got his generic throws. So yeah, for Negan it's either 1+2 or it doesn't matter. And that's pretty much it, but other than that I can mention like 3 more things which a Negan player might use, which I just want to mention so you know it's punishable. He has his 1+2, which is basically, I use it like Jin's 1+2. It's basically, well, I think you know what Jin's 1+2 is. And yeah, 13 frames, so it's pretty good. But it is punishable on block. It's like, yeah, -14, so you can punish it with jabs, maybe an electric if you're playing Jin. What else do we have? We have his 4-3-2 natural combo, but it's punishable on block. -19, so it has a little knockback, but yeah, this knockback isn't like super big, and -19 is like really so punishable. And then we have his 4-4-3-2, which is -20 and has even less knockback, so yeah, launch punishable as well. And I think now I really mentioned everything there is, everything worth mentioning. Of course he has some more stuff, but that's not like very important stuff. It's not like really stuff that is worth mentioning. After watching this, you should have an idea how Negan works. I'd say you to win against Negan, you just have to pressure him, because well, he's, I don't know, like Harang, he is good at pressuring, but I wouldn't say he's very good against pressure. At least always, every time I'm playing Negan against an aggressive player, and then I'm having some trouble when I'm the one that's getting pressured. So yeah, it's best that you try to pressure the Negan player so that he doesn't pressure you, because if he pressures you, then you might have a problem due to all of his options he has with his stance transferring, and all of that. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope your matchup win rate on Negan will rise now.